So for anyone who doesn't know, Kyle and Kenny created this app right here that I always use. So he's one of the partners that created this, and you guys just did something new where it's now working for Windows 10 or something. Is that what you?
Yes, we're in beta for that, and we hope to be released by the end of the month or so.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so tonight, just diving into the example that I have, and this is started with. Well, actually, I met this guy 2 years ago or something. After I had spoken at a club in Southern California, he and I went out to lunch one day just to talk. And what he does is, like a lot of guys, they're buying pools of non-performing notes. And he's got a reperformer now, and this is in Michigan. And he wants to sell it. So this is the email I get. Hey, after the great to talk to you and reconnect, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking to sell this reperformer, pay history for 18 months. So that's good. That's a pretty nice reperforming history. If they're going to go non-performing again after they perform, usually it's inside of 12 months. So if you get well past 12 months, it's considered pretty solid. Anyone else have feedback or experience with that? Anyway, borrowers are on a forbearance trial modification program. See all the docs. Payments are $550 a month, and it's being serviced by Peak, so a third-party servicer. Borrower likes to make two payments at one time. That's fine. They want to pay it down early, but I'm only going to assume that they're going to pay the minimum amount required. Property is worth $70,000 in a hot market. I'm not sure what that means. Borrower has a great job making $60,000 annually. The note has upside because the new owner of the note can either keep the borrower on the payment plan or put them into a permanent modification. Borrower owes close to $100,000 in balance, arrears, and late fees. And so he wants to get some cash back out. I have no idea what he paid for the note. My guess is 35 cents on the dollar or something. Okay, I would like to get somewhere between 53.5 and 55,000. So basically, 55% of UPB, unpaid principal balance. I'm going to send you another reperforming note right after this email. Most importantly, I want to move these fast. These two notes, and I asked him why fast, and he says, well, the investor that went in on these with me, has some other deal he's doing or needs cash or whatever. These two notes you're going to see are super clean and two of our better notes from the portfolio. Please do not shop these out. I get this all the time. Just like Ken was saying, if you're if you talk like a broker and you don't talk like a buyer, you're going to lose people. All the time, they're just sick. They're just hounded and hounded and hounded by people who are, trying to make a buck in the middle, but their word isn't good because they don't know what to offer. They're not the ones that pull the trigger and do the underwriting, and so there's just like hordes of people, trying to do the note broker thing. It's even if you are going to broker, just think of like a buyer and talk like a buyer anyway, because I don't consider myself a broker, but I sort of am because it's not really my money, but it's me and my investors' money, and I end up usually servicing, some of this paper. I always leave it with the existing servicer just because it's easier for everyone. But anyway, so just case in point, don't act like a broker. Everyone's sick of brokers. Okay, I want you to reach out to single investors that are interested in steady yield. That is most of my back pocket investor types. This note can be sold for 65 to 70,000 in 12 months. Okay, and he says that because he has a bank, an institutional buyer, that I guess has some sort of a program that after 12 months, successful 12 months on a permanent modification, they will buy the notes at 65 to 70. Whatever that represents, basically 100% of value of property at about, so if it was 100,000, yeah, so basically 65% of the UPB, even if it's 100% of the BPO, the broker price opinion. So anyway, after 12 months on a permanent modification, they'll buy him, for a pretty good price. So he's actually, even though he needs and wants cash now, he's kind of like doesn't want to give up. He knows that he could sell this note 12 months from now if he goes from a trial modification to a permanent, and they keep paying for 12 months. He can get this much money out of it, 65 to 70,000. I don't know, who that person is, and I don't care because that's not my part of the business. If I could receive the lump sum now, that would be my main goal. So if he can get his 55, he'd just walk. Let me know how you can structure it. And for me, so here's what he has. He has a UPB, so unpaid principal balance of about 100,000 with arrears and late fees and all that. He says the value of the property is 70,000, and he says that the buyers for 18 months has been paying 550 like clockwork. But his perfect picture is he wants a buyback agreement. He needs some cash now, but he wants to be able to buy it back, so he can resell to the institution after a year. So he doesn't really want to take that much of a discount. So what I'm looking for is safety, right? I want to be at 65% of the value of the property or less. If you're making a loan, it would be LTV, loan to value, but this is investment to value. I want no hassle. I don't want hassles. I've had about 3 to 4 of my notes in the portfolio be a headache this last year, and it soaks a lot of time. So what I'm looking and a lot of energy at times. So what I want is something that's really structured to make my life simple. So I'm going to sell it to him with recourse. That means if I don't get the payment, I'm looking to you to keep me whole because I don't want to chase it down, right? It's already being serviced by a third party. That's great. So I don't have to be the primary servicer. This is tighter from a regulatory standpoint on a homeowner anyway. And it keeps my life simpler. I only sort of subservice it, which he's doing also. He's subservicing on his own. He has a huge incentive. If I give him a buyback agreement where he's going to get a huge upside if this note performs well, he has a huge incentive to make sure I don't have any trouble. And he already has a relationship with the borrower because he's the one that got them to start paying again a year and a half ago anyway. So it's logical to keep him engaged. And so I'll just, hey, Sam, I got a problem. Not only do you need to put money in my bank account, but you need to see what's going on with this deal, and you're going to keep me whole the whole time, in the meantime.
Hey, Don?
Yeah.
On the modification that these borrowers now have, was all of that recorded and done so legally, or?
Yeah, apparently it was, and I didn't make there was too many private informations on that thing that it was done through the through Peak, through the servicer. And so it's, to me, it looks like, I don't know, it's not like ideal in this, but all I know is that, he knows what he's doing because he's doing
So
it.
how long has it been performing with the modification payment?
Well, it's been a trial modification, so it hasn't been formalized. Otherwise, he could sell it for 65,000 right now to an institution, so they've been talking to it as a forbearance / trial modification, and that's 18 months of perfect pay history. So at this point, he's he's going to right before I buy it, he'll convert it into a permanent modification that I guess is recorded. I'm not sure what they do in Michigan, but and then I'll take assignment, and then after 12 months, if they continue to pay, he can then buy it back from me and then sell it to this bank that he knows for quite a bit more than I would pay for it. So my max ITV is 6, so that works out to 51.3 times 0.65. So then I come back, that's the most I can be exposed on this property. My investment to value maximum is right there. And so let's put that in there. I know